YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, my channel is all about different types of curriculum that we use throughout the school year. I try to do some flip throughs of the different curriculum that we do get. For any of you who are new to homeschooling like I was, I really appreciate and enjoy looking at the curriculum. If you live in an area where there isn't a lot of homeschool conventions and people around you don't really homeschool like it's true for us in our area, I really find it helpful to look inside the curriculum because I don't have an opportunity to go to conventions. So for 2018-2019 for my first grader, this is the curriculum we're using. So we changed things up quite a bit for this year, but the first thing that I'd like to show you is what we're using for Bible. We decided to go with Bible Truths from BJU Press. This is for first grade, but I'm also having my second grader do this as well. This is A Father's Care, and this is the 4th edition student textbook. And I'll just briefly give you a look inside. This program has 10 different units. Each unit has an A, B, C, and D portion of it. There's 180 lessons. And this is the worksheet for the first lesson. I like that the worksheets so far are pretty short. There's not much writing in it. There's yes and no questions, which is perfect for my first grader who doesn't like to write, but does appreciate and like to participate in our questions, answers, and comprehension. And she knows quite a bit of information, and so it's very important for me to make sure that she is challenged enough, even though she's not writing, that she is answering questions and following along. And I can sort of measure that easily here because these are fill in the blanks, coloring, things of that nature. This is our first year doing an official Bible curriculum. I really liked using just the Bible last year and using different types of readers, character building books. We love to read the Bible, and the kids have been really just interested in more of a Bible study, and I would like them to do this as part of school. We also do a family Bible time, and I will do a video on that, just explaining what we use for that. So this is just a brief look inside the student work pages. There's some puzzles, some reading, and that's it for the worksheet. There's a glossary in the back. There's also tests that you can take, the student can do. I don't know how we're going to be using these, if we will at all, but there is tests. And there's also the answer key for the tests. This is the Teacher's Edition. In the Teacher's Edition, you have a CD-ROM in the back, which has the teacher's toolkit. In this toolkit, you have all of the workbook pages that the child does and all the answers to it, and any other printables that throughout the teacher's guide will be asking you to print out. So I'll just give you a brief look at one of the lessons. Here is the contents page, explanation of the gospel, if you're new to this edition, just some other materials that they have, and how to use the toolkit, how the lessons are laid out, some teaching tips. These are just different methods used for learning, verses and hymns. They have that all laid out for you here too. And here is the Unit 1, God Created His World. So as you can see, Unit 1 has 5 lessons. Unit 2 has 5, and Unit 3, I'm sorry, this is A, B, C, and D. So each portion of Unit 1 has 5 lessons. It has 180 lessons, and they're all laid out here in the beginning of the book, so it's easy to get to. Then you start here, Lesson 1 Overview. It just gives you a description of all the things you're going to be reading in the Bible doctrines, skills, and applications. And this is the actual lesson here at the hymn, and it's broken down into these different sections: memory verses, Bible account, and it'll tell you when to use the student pages. So you see right here is a student page, and here as well. So here it's actually going into lesson 3. So lesson 2 is also there, and so lesson 1 was those short pages that I showed you, not very long. I'll just give you a brief flip through. It looks like they're laid out exactly the same throughout. We don't have a set time limit for this curriculum. I'm not putting a time limit on it and making it so that we're done by the end of the year. We'll just do it every day, at least once a week. We will do this curriculum. I don't know that we'll do it 5 days. It depends, because we also do family Bible and we do Bible time in our morning basket. So maybe it'll take us 2 years to do it, maybe just 1, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so that is what we're doing for Bible for this year. So for math for my first grader, we are doing Matthew C. Primer. She did Life Packs last year, and it just wasn't the right curriculum for her. So we're going to try out the primer. This is the student workbook. I just got the binding taken off of it, and I brought it to the printers and put it in this binder. And so as she needs to, we'll take a page out and she can work on it, or she can work on it in the binder. It depends on how she feels. But it's just black and white. It comes with the DVD and the instructor's guide. I also got this Skip Counting Addition Fact songbook. It has cute little songs in it, and then it has a CD. I'm pretty sure the curriculum also just comes with this, the songs that you can download, but I prefer to have the CD and just the lyrics to the songs, and that's why I purchased the songbook. So with Matthew C, we also got the blocks. This is our first year using Matthew C. So I got this little tackle box, and in it, the majority of the blocks fit in here. There are some blocks that do not, and mostly those are the 100 blocks, and I just kept them in the box that they came in, and I will take them out if she needs to use them, but there's, I think, enough for at least the majority of the lessons in primer. So that is it for math for my first grader. So next up we have Handwriting Without Tears. We did the orange book last year, and this year we're doing the yellow book. We really like Handwriting Without Tears. Just fun activities. She especially needs help with handwriting, so this just reminds her where she needs to start her letters at the top for capitals, and just talks about lowercase letters, the dive letters, and different things, and it's just a fun way. There's coloring. It's just a fun way to go through handwriting, and there's some songs that she enjoys as well that I purchased for my my rising K4 child, and some wooden letter pieces and things like that, just to help reinforce her and encourage her through handwriting. I also purchased the Handwriting Without Tears teacher's guide, only because there's just some techniques that I want to make sure I'm not getting wrong when I teach her how to do her handwriting. And I also want to make sure that I'm consistent with how I tell her to form her letters, because I did find that last year I was having trouble remembering what it was that the instructor had mentioned at the beginning of the lessons from my other daughter's book, where to form letters and sort of catchy names and things for the letters formations. And so I wanted to be more consistent and sort of to keep myself accountable. I got this just to make sure that I'm not doing something to confuse her as to where she should be forming her letters and how she should form them. And so I want to say the same things consistently, and that's why I purchased this book this year. There's also some cool little tips and tricks. It's just the beginning stages. And there's CDs as well for songs, even at this level. Especially with my daughter, because she's very visual. She likes to play with the wood pieces and to form her letters. And listening to the songs kind of helps her remember that she should start her letters at the top for capitals. It's especially helpful when the paper does not have lines, just so she can figure out where to form her letters on an open space. So just quickly flip through that. It also does numbers. Okay, so that's handwriting. So we're also doing a reading program. This will be our first year using All About Reading. And so the program basically consists of everything here, and there's the tiles for the whiteboard to form the different words. But there is these readers: the runt pig, cobweb the cat, run bug run. This is the student activity book for level 1. Comes with some stickers. Haven't really looked in as much. But it has all different types of activities to do to make the reading fun. Now, if you watch some of my other videos, you know that we do Logic of English, and we did try it with my daughter, whose curriculum this is, and it didn't work out very well for her. Although she liked the games, a lot of the rules and different sounds were confusing her a bit. So I decided to try this just for reading, and because it has all those games, I thought it would be easier for her to focus on just the reading part and not all of the extras. When I know that Logic of English is teaching reading, especially through the sounds and everything, I just thought that maybe these specific games through this curriculum, because it isolates just reading, would be a little bit easier for her. So these are just black and white. I'm sure she'll be doing some coloring in here. Okay, so that's the student book. And these are the color-coded letter tiles, and then there's the Phonogram Sounds app that I already downloaded on her iPad. And this is the teacher's guide. As far as I could tell from going through these, the lessons are pretty short and easy to follow. I will have to do a little bit of prepping the games, although I don't think you have to if you give yourself 5 minutes or so. But I'll just prep them as much as I can, as far ahead as I can. There's also a box, and I forgot to bring it out here. It's a yellow box that has all of the Phonogram sound cards that I purchased with this program. That's pretty much essential, but I forgot to bring it out. I also decided to get this additional book, the second edition of the reading games with Ziggy the Zebra. We really love Ziggy the Zebra, and I thought extra games couldn't hurt, and these are all in full color. So I thought I'd get this and give it a try for her. So that's it for reading. For language arts, we decided to do The Good and the Beautiful, level K. Now this is the reader, and there's a lot of videos out on this right now, so I'm not going to go through this, but this is the reader, and this is the course book. I love that the course book is both for the child to write in and for the teacher to teach from. It makes it a lot easier. This particular program covers phonics, reading, spelling, literature, grammar, punctuation, and art appreciation. These readers were also part of the program. All I did was cut them, and I have my own zip binding machine, and so I just cut the bindings and made these little flip books that way. She can easily read them, and she doesn't have to fight with the binding. So anyway, you guys, that is it. That is what I'm using for my first graders, for my first grader for the 2018-2019 school year. I will do another video on my other kiddos and